What dating apps? What dating apps you got? Delete them. Delete them all. Remove them. What are you doing? You trying to meet the one? Then go on a beautiful, amazing date, move in together in 2 weeks, get married and have a baby in 3 months, unfortunately miscarry. But then decide to buy a house together, and then get married shortly after, only to find out he's been cheating! But the cheating is the normal part. The cheating's okay. Not a single thing the one had told you was true. You married a con artist. That was only a part of Reesa's ginormous 10-hour-long story that she had divided into 55 parts, titled,
Who the f*** did I marry?
I literally listened and watched that shit doing the most random things. It's always somewhere playing in the background. I have to get through that entire story.
He was driving in a Ford Legion. Gave him my name and I said,
Follow my TikTok at the Rebal D.
Describing her harrowing experience with this
real pathological liar.
Y'all, props to her for surviving that and for getting that difficult story out like that, like with so much details too. Maybe too much details, if I'm being honest. If you want to hear the full thing, go check out her profile. She'll tell you which exit she took on her way to work.
I probably could have taken 75 to 285, but I probably took 20 to 75 to 285. 675 kind of thing. Like, I just...
Point of her telling the story was to help those who might go through something similar. Since all of y'all are single and pathetic, you got a lot to learn. Help you identify certain red flags. Every time I would sense a red flag, we're gonna have this alarm going. Alright? You're gonna hear this one a lot today. So ReesaTeesa met her ex, Legion, that's his name, around March 4th, 2020. But she met him twice.
I did not realize that he was on both.
On 2 different dating apps, Facebook Dating and Hinge. Twice, 2 different names.
Under 2 different names.
We're not 10 seconds in. We're not 10 seconds into this story. Goddamn. Now, it's not that big of a deal because it was a nickname, so it wasn't like a big difference. Imagine you're on a date with him. Hey, so what do you do? I'm a regional manager at this condiment company. You from Georgia? No, I was transferred from California to Georgia, actually. I live in a studio apartment, which is kind of looking for a home right now. He has 2 brothers, 2 half-brothers, 2 sisters, big family, both parents dead. He's divorced, got 2 stepkids, not his, but they're super close. And most importantly, he played arena football. So, I don't know what arena football is. She doesn't know what arena football is either.
I don't know anything about arena football, and I believe I did tell him that. I don't know anything about arena football.
That's okay, because arena football went bankrupt 4 years ago. Arena football ceased its operations. That's how popular it was. But he claims to have been an athlete of arena football, where he made a lot of his money. She thought he was interesting. Cheesecake Factory? Let's do it. They set the first date. 3 days later, she's driving her way there. Boom!
And I lost control of my car.
Tire busts. Girl, that tire blowing was a sign from God. That was a sign from the universe. He was far when her tire went flat. But he came to her.
Like I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing.
And she saw him. He looks just like his pictures. He was kind of hot.
Oh my God, he's actually attractive.
Tall, fine and charming. Ladies, he changed her tire. All right.
He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world.
You thought that was it? He took her to a tire depot or a warehouse, wherever they sell that shit, and he bought a tire for her. First date. She was melting in his arms.
Oh my God, I had butterflies.
They talk about what they want, what they're looking for. Marriage.
So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear.
But then he does this little thing that I think is a bit intense.
We sat in his car and he played this song for me. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight.
Like, hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? I think I met my wife tonight. That's a bit much for me. In my personal opinion, you do you. Anyway, he starts telling her how the company was supposed to find him a new house.
Which he had like a studio.
Shows her an email
From a woman who worked at the company.
The lady responsible for finding him the house was there apologizing.
I'm so sorry, you know, this should have been taken care of before you got here. I saw the email.
She read the email.
I read it. I read the email.
Now here's where things get a little wild. Remember, this is 2020. So for some reason they were deciding where they were gonna quarantine together. It's been 2 weeks! Slow down. It's been 2 weeks. Y'all gonna move in? That's fast. That's fast for anyone. And like, quarantine. Like, you can't even dip. Well, she says she's made a mistake.
First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made.
Yes, 2 weeks is too fast. Like, obviously that's the mistake. No, that's not what she meant. That was not the mistake.
Probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio.
She was worried he was gonna look at like what she owns and think,
let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here.
girl, that's not the problem though. The problem is it's 2 weeks. I wouldn't say he's a gold digger in any way or form, because he paid her household bills.
He paid all the household bills.
This man moved in and started paying her bills. Now, not her personal bills, just the house bills.
I was like, wow, okay, so you got money.
Oh. So I think a big part of why she did not choose to see those red flags is because she'd assumed that he was a really rich man. It's only fair to say this, you know, she said it herself.
This is where it's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth.
She might not have said this explicitly, but she's implying it, you know?
It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially.
Perfectly valid, very normal. And things keep getting crazier because we're moving so fast. He wanted to buy a house for himself, remember? The company, the email. But she's like, should he buy a house for him or should he buy a house for us? Wait a minute! No. Let him buy a house for him. Wouldn't that have made more sense? A few weeks into dating?
The decision was made. Let's start looking for a house for both of us.
It's almost too good to be true, if I'm being honest. Because it is. A house, it's a lot of money. He shows her a statement from Chase Bank that says he is eligible for a mortgage of $750,000. To pay off $750K is a lot. Where'd that money come from?
This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well.
He's an arena football athlete. Hello?
We're good.
Nice. An athlete. A celebrity. Right? I've never heard of him or arena football. He must have been average. The average arena football salary is about $39K a year. Like, I'm sorry, like, if somebody tells me they do something that I know nothing about, I would personally Google it. I'm trying to find out, like, who I'm dating, right? But I guess when she sees the money the way she did, he's paying the household bills, she just didn't care to know, you know? But $39K a year, on average, can't make you eligible for $750K as a mortgage. But the papers in front of her, she's read it. A Chase Bank account, another account, an offshore account. Man's got big money.
So you got money.
So she's, you know, super chill about it. It's like, I guess whatever, we could just buy a house. So they contacted a realtor. Realtor 1. For this story, I've made a character chart because there's a lot of people in here and a lot of them aren't real. This is important. You'll thank me later. Realtor 1 exists.
So we contacted a realtor. I won't say his name, but man, if he ever sees this TikTok, I owe this man such an apology.
So it's been about a month since they met. This is their first house hunt. Remember, it's still 2020, and they can't really tour houses that are occupied, all right? You can only do a virtual tour. Found a house, loved it, put an offer in.
He's telling me he put an offer in.
Except he didn't put an offer in. He said he did. Why is the realtor calling saying
what they're asking for is proof of funds?
You need proof of funds.
I sent him over the paperwork.
Wait, he didn't.
The offer was approved.
He did put the.
Also told me that he put down earnest money on the home.
He put a deposit. Oh.
I get a phone call from the realtor. But you know what you guys want to do about that house? Oh, I was told that he put an offer in.
But I thought that he throws a tantrum, and then he explains himself. That's not a red flag. Apparently he's got his own broker, a friend of his that she doesn't know, she's never met. She's like, what? But she checks online and the house is under contract. So she believed him.
But once I saw the house was under contract, I absolutely believe.
They get the house soon. They get the house in June. They better start furniture shopping, and that's what they do.
So we went to Home Depot and Lowe's, and I went ham. I chose all these new appliances.
They buy appliances. He pays for those appliances, and they're held in the warehouse.
So I watched him pay.
She watched him pay.
I watched him pay a deposit on a whole new set of appliances.
They go to furniture shop. He's like, we'll take pictures of the things you like and we'll just order them online. They never bought the furniture online, but that's okay because the house and its developments always came with an excuse. There was always something about that house.
It was always something.
And she found out she was pregnant at this point. Pregnant. This shit is moving fast. To April to May. 2 months. These people have dated, moved in together, wanted to buy a house together, and got pregnant.
I found out I was pregnant.
I'm crazy for this, I swear. ReesaTeesa, I love you, but what the fuck? Anyway, she finds out she's pregnant. She panics. She's like, I don't want to be pregnant here. I want to be pregnant in the house we bought.
We need to find out what's going on with this house.
June, baby. June. Just wait till June. June comes, there's no house. She opens up, sees the house online. It's already sold. There's a different realtor's number. She calls them. Apparently, it's been sold to an older white couple. It's not their house.
There is no house. He's going to have to get out of this lie somehow.
So she asks him. So apparently the house isn't ours. The thing is, they're... Excuse. At this point, she's like, damn, my man lied about the house. The house? Just the house. Sit down. Unfortunately, she miscarried, all right? And my heart goes out to her. She went through a very difficult time here. But the day of the surgery happened to be the day Legion was being promoted to VP.
He had made VP at the company.
Oh, we're reaching now. Regional manager becomes VP. VP, by the way, vice president. She didn't say of the company, it was of something, but still. So she's in the hospital, procedures done. Where is her man? He's not there. But he did suggest for his sister, he has 2 sisters, Kim and Shantae, one of them a nurse, to drop her off. She gives a call to David. David is Legion's assistant.
David responds and says, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please let me know if there's anything I can do.
Part of his team is VP. Part of the elites. David is a person of poverty. David is his assistant. He's like, I'm coming, baby, I'm coming. He picks her up about 2 hours later than he should have. And then he calls her family, her mom and aunt, after that surgery and says, can you not call her? Don't talk to her. Don't disturb her.
Just please don't reach out to her.
I'm sorry, who the f*** are you? You don't come in between family like that. You're some dude she met 3 months ago, telling her family to lay off. What the f***? She needs to rest. It gets a little comical at this point, because after that, they want to look for a house again. Y'all, please stop looking for houses. They put a full cash offer on a house.
So, the offer was not accepted. The house fell through.
They try another. It also falls through. But this time, it was just circumstantial. It wasn't Legion's doing. But Legion was promised a car, a company car, so it was time to go car shopping. They're at the dealership, picks a car, loves it. I want that one. That'll be... no problem. Get on the phone real quick with an imaginary employee. Put that aside, now he wants to buy her a car.
He told my family he was buying me a new car. Wow. Who knew that he had this kind of money? He would always talk about money.
He's like, why are you driving this Nissan? I'ma get you an Audi. Sitting at the dealership, makes another call. This one's with Eric, his financial advisor. One of the elites, remember.
The financial advisor's name is Eric. I feel comfortable using certain people's names, especially if we find out they didn't exist.
Mans transfers the money.
And he confirmed with Audi that they received the money.
Mans buys the Audi never comes. Are we surprised? No. I don't know. He bought her a car that he asked her to leave work for.
I said, yes, that's fine.
She was at home. The car wasn't. Car never came.
Well, do I need to call Audi myself?
No! Throws a tantrum again. Every time she got close, taking things into her own hands, he would lose it.
Always there was an excuse.
Now, as you can tell, there's been a trend here. He just looks for what she likes. He looks for what she wants, what she can't have. Gives it to her, feeds it to her with a spoon right at her mouth. Whew, he pulls it away. You know, that's what he likes to do. He gets off.
He gets off. You know.
She said it herself. He gets off on doing this. But he did end up getting her a car, a Nissan.
It was a Nissan Altima.
That she had relied on him financially for. You should never rely on somebody like you're not even like with like that, you know? But y'all went all the way, I guess you might as well. Never be financially dependent on anyone. Like, you're not a minor. You have no reason to be. One day they're driving through the city, he goes, "That's my office building, that's where I work."
So I was like, take me to your office, and he was like,
oh, she wants to see the office. So he gives Willie, new character.
Willie is supposed to be the head of security.
Go in the building.
You're not?
Aw, what a shame.
Okay, is Mr. Justin working?
New character.
Willie is not working, and Justin apparently called out sick.
Aw, what a shame. Can't see the office. That is where he keeps his other car, though. The BMW, his company finance.
So I did see a picture of the car.
Keep in mind, this is after she was promised her BMW.
Keep in mind, this is after I had been promised a dark blue X5.
She really wanted that BMW.
So I was a bit salty. I don't care if it is a company car. I was a bit salty.
Someone get this woman a BMW.
I'm driving a Nissan and you driving a BMW. After you promised me a BMW.
BMW, where you at? If you see this video, give this lady a car. Plot twist and little update. So BMW actually did see her story and they posted this little TikTok. A meme that says, on her way to find a dark blue BMW X5 with a cognac interior. Which is exactly what she wanted her car to be, right? Now they didn't imply that they were giving her a car in the TikTok, but somebody commented, bring her some joy, and they were like, that's the plan. What does that mean? Funny part is they deleted that TikTok and they had since deleted every single comment that they had made about ReesaTeesa's story. Obviously, they don't want to give her a car. And since BMW has been posting TikToks trying to ignore the ReesaTeesa situation and somebody's like, is Legion y'all's new VP by any chance? But like, she's like mad about it, you know? She's like, to be clear, no, I have not gotten a car from BMW. Over this little video that said, looks like this is the closest I will get to my midnight blue BMW X5 with cognac interiors. Did you get that in case you're gonna send the car? Cognac interior. That's kind of a petty post. BMW, give her the car. Someone's like, loved your story, but why does BMW owe you a free car? I'm confused. Well, what makes them look bad, I mean BMW, is how they're backtracking on the whole thing. But then this one branch of BMW was like, ReesaTeesa, let us know your thoughts. We can always order one for you too, so just let us know your thoughts. It's not like we're trying to send you this car. If you want, we can order one for you though. And like, they first show the car that she actually wanted, and then they show another car they call its competition that she did not want. She doesn't want a sedan. She said she wants a big car. So it was just an attempt, a marketing attempt that was like, this whole thing backfired, y'all. If you're feeling extra generous, maybe give me one. Okay. We asked for too much. Now after the cars, they decided to look for houses. Again, y'all, stop looking for houses at this point, all right?
It was gorgeous. I really liked the house.
Scott, this time, new character, was the real estate broker. They put an all-cash offer on this house.
My ex-husband put in an all-cash offer.
Owners say looks good. Show us the proof of funds. That's Legion screaming in the back. Every time this man hears the word proof of funds. It's like a stick gets shoved up his ass a little deeper. Listen, proof of funds is Legion's biggest fear. What are you scared of? Spiders? Legion's scared of proof of funds. Man goes, I'll show them the proof of funds when they accept my offer. That's not how that works.
The seller said, we'll accept the offer when you show proof of funds.
Obviously, that fell through after a lot of hard-headed struggle.
He didn't show it. He refused to budge.
He had this little ego thing where he was like, no, because if I show, who are you for me to show you my funds? I'm an arena footballer. You know, just really, I feel predictable. Like, ReesaTeesa, you must have a heart of gold not to see all this. To stay, like, she explains herself.
Number one, I didn't want to be alone.
Honestly, that's valid. I think that's one of my biggest fears. I'm afraid of being alone. Legion's afraid of proof of funds. I'm afraid of loneliness. But then she goes on.
Number two, I didn't want to look stupid by having the relationship end so quickly for everyone to be like, we told you something was up.
What do you mean? So let me just stay here in this garbage relationship where this guy is clearly lying to me, to everybody, to the realtors, etc., etc. He's just having a little fun game. Because I don't want people to, like, scold me. I told you so. Ooh. That's her, I guess, biggest fear. Reesa, who the f cares? You're telling me you sat through this shit because you were scared somebody was gonna tell you off? Girl, we're not 15. You're not 12. You're a grown-ass adult. Who cares if somebody tells you off, says, I told you so? Yeah, you did, and you were right. What's wrong with that? Oh, my lord. All right. So she expresses her concerns to Legion. Baby, tell me, how can I earn your trust?
So I was like, show me your accounts.
Because she's starting to believe there isn't even money here. One of the reasons she was kind of like staying in this, remember? I thought you were rich. Show me your accounts. So he shows her 2 savings accounts. Doesn't show her the other 2, all right? It was harder to find screenshots of the other 2 online. All right, that's for later though. All of this happens before they get married. So what does she do? They get married. Sorry, like, Reesa, I don't know if you're colorblind or just blind. Why the f would you get married? Did you get comfortable? Nothing about this sounds comforting. Nothing about this sounds comfortable anyway. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time.
So we got married on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday? From this point, something's changed. He's been acting weird, asking her about why she was dressed that way or, you know, where she was going. He got all jealous and stuff. But he celebrated Valentine's pretty good, celebrated her birthday pretty well, gave her some money, said, babe, go pamper yourself at the nail salon. As she was getting her toes done, she gets a call from Legion, says there's a man at the front door and he's asking for you and it's your ex.
He was like, I think it was your ex.
She freaks out. She panics. She's like, what the f? There's no way. That's impossible. He starts manipulating her. He's like, you gonna explain why you're getting all worked up?
The way that you reacting to this is real suspect.
Luckily, the neighbors got a Ring door camera.
We didn't have a Ring door camera, but my neighbor did.
That overlooks her driveway. Asks her neighbor, apparently there was nothing. Nothing. No man came up.
But no one came. So what was the purpose of that?
It was all a lie. This is the first lie that he was blatantly caught in. It's not like the houses where there was always an excuse. Anyway, remember how I said he loves to give her things that she really wants and then pull them away from her when she gets too excited? Well, she's been dying to go to London and Paris.
Dying to go.
Prints out an itinerary, surprises her with it, says, hey, look.
He was like, I've already made a reservation.
Let's apply for some passports and travel.
I was so excited. I cannot tell y'all how f***ing excited I was.
They never fill in the passport applications.
Needless to say, something must have happened.
It's always, and then he drops her to the ground. Toxic. No, Legion, as you know, is an honest man.
He was the guy who was like, I have nothing to hide.
Hide me nothing.
I don't lie.
Man of integrity.
I don't like liars.
Ugh. So they got each other's phone passcodes. Nothing to hide. One day she looks through his phone, checks his Facebook, 7 women. Filthy stuff, y'all. Filthy stuff. Some of it is like, shit, she's like, what the? I didn't know he was into that, you know, that kind of stuff.
And I clearly see evidence that you into some shit that, with me, you acting like, nah, I ain't really into that.
So she confronts him about it.
And was like, what the f*** is this?
Babe, I was just messing around. That was his, like, response to that.
Man, I was just playing around.
At this point, this man's lied to you one too many times. He is unfaithful. And when confronted about it, he's like, it's no big deal. I was just flirting.
I was just flirting.
He's so nonchalant, man's like, I was just flirting. Now, my natural reaction would have been, yeah, okay, go flirt. Bye. I'm filing for divorce. Yes, nothing ties us in together. There's no kids. Man's lied about so many things already. And he's unfaithful. Oh, trust is broken. Broken. There's no fixing this. No. Her reaction was a little different. She said,
do you know how much I have turned down in order to be faithful to your dumb ass?
Reesa? What? What do you mean? I don't think she has processed or had like the time to sort of like really reflect on how this whole situation made her feel. I think she knows what she feels because this is traumatic. This reaction is a very surface reaction. It's not really like how you actually, I'm sure that's not what she feels. You know how much I missed out on because of being with you? Like that's definitely a very surface, like the petty stuff that you would say to save face. I think her real emotions, she hasn't had the time to unpack them yet, you know? But she takes a step into what she thinks is the right direction.
So this is where I introduce that we need to do marriage counseling.
Asks for marriage counseling. They talk about getting a joint account, which they thankfully do not do. She sees the money in his account, and it's really not that impressive. He throws a fit about, who are you, woman? Want to see my money.
And no one is going to come in and tell him that he needs to open up the account.
He's scared, you know, because that's what people change when they see the money. The pastor and his wife, who are doing the marriage counseling, are like, what the fuck is this? Everybody's like, what the hell is this? And guess what they end up doing at this point? Shopping for a house. Please let that idea die. They get with a realtor, Amber. Wonderful lady. This time she's like, I need to pre-approve you. Show me the proof of funds first. That's right. The screams legion.
Y'all already know what happened.
He heard proof of funds. He shot a few bricks. Lost his shit. I'm not showing my money to nobody. Guess why? You might start getting a feeling, you know, there might be no money. Right. Amber, who's a new character, the realtor, says, you need the proof of funds. Tells her, if you want to buy a house alone, because this is kind of sketchy, I'm your girl. But I can't help you unless you give a proof of funds. At this point, ReesaTeesa starts asking questions. A little bit too late, in my opinion. Reesa, I know you had a feeling early on, but I think you should have probably investigated that a little bit sooner. Looks like there's separation down the line, but she was still dependent on him for that car financially, so she needed a new job.
He laughed. And his exact words were, you're not gonna leave Georgia State Patrol.
You? He laughs in her face, which pushed her harder to get that job. They sent her a package. They need his social security number, her spouse.
He did not want to give me his social.
My social security number? Why do you need my social security number? It's just part of the package. Like, no, I can't give you like. But you put it on the marriage license. Just put it on the package. So he writes a number that's different than the number that was on the marriage certificate.
What it is that the first 3 numbers were different on the background packet than what was on the marriage license.
The social security number is a unique number, and the first few digits of that dictate the state. Remember California, then Georgia? Nope. He calls the university he graduated from. No record of him.
The response I got was, there were no records found with that social security number.
So she asks him, like, was California a thing? Why do they not have a record of you? What the why are you even asking these? My dad wanted me to be a private citizen, so he paid the university to kind of wipe me off the register. Shut your bitch ass up! Please. At one point, she was at work. He calls her and says that his ex-wife's son, his stepson, told him that his sister had passed away and they needed money for the funeral.
Whatever we can do to help, let's help. Surely nobody would make that up.
She's like, of course, send anything you need. Who would lie about death? What kind of psychopath would you be? She wanted to investigate like that situation. That ex and that family.
I grabbed my purse, grabbed my keys, and I drove to the court to do the open records request in person.
Goes into like civil court records and finds a divorce that was filed. It was actually filed in Georgia. They never met in California. They married in Georgia. He didn't file for a divorce because she cheated on him. She filed for a divorce. He also signed this affidavit that says
that he is so poor, he could not afford the fees to pay for a divorce.
And his employer, it was no VP. It was no regional manager. He worked at a grocery store.
At like a grocery store. That is what was listed as his employer. So I see all of this in one day.
But she did find her phone number.
And her phone number. So I did what any rational person would do.
She gave her a call.
And she said to me, and I quote, "If you were calling me, then I know it's bad."
Oh, it's bad. He said he spoke to them often.
She immediately said, "What? No, we don't."
Oh boy, oh boy. Remember he said that lady's daughter passed away.
So I asked her, "How was your daughter?" She said, "My daughter's fine." She said, "What did he say about my daughter?" And I will be honest with y'all, I didn't have the heart to tell her.
Honestly, good on you for that. Cause like, I'm glad you didn't. Because, what the f?
She said, "One thing you need to know about Legion." She said, "Whatever he tells you, it is a lie."
So she looks up the mother's obituary. Remember, the mother did pass away some time ago. And it lists the entire family there. So there's Legion, there's 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Legion, his wife.
His wife?
Latoya.
Latoya? Who the fuck is Latoya? Because Latoya is not the ex-wife.
Who is Latoya? Never heard that name before.
Where are the sisters?
Where are the 2 sisters?
Hey, remember when he said his nurse sister could pick her up from the hospital?
The question now is becoming, what else is he lying about?
What else? Girl, what is he not lying about? The funny thing about the whole other wife thing is, on their marriage certificate, it asks for previous marriages, you know, and it does that. And he said 1, which was the one ex-wife she knew about. So, is he still married to Latoya? What's the vibe? So she dug deep and found another divorce record in the civil courts. Except this time he had filed for divorce.
Apparently, he had lied to the wife, and it was something major, and they got into a physical fight.
Apparently, she was so angry at him, he had to, like, get a sort of restraining order on her. At this point, he is bedridden because of an injury in his knee, alright? He has another phone that she looked through. His work phone that he has from the condiment company as VP.
He did not wipe the phone.
Apparently, it's not a work phone. He pays the bills for that phone. He just has another phone to talk to Peaches.
Yes, that was her name, Peaches.
The lady he hires for pleasurable services.
She's listing the prices.
Now, after seeing the Peaches conversation, she just lost it, you know, but calmly lost it. She was like, scary, lost it. Sits him down, says, "Man, you never went to San Diego. You were never in California." She just spills out all the lies that he's been telling her, and then she just tells him, this is not gonna work.
He was like, "So what you saying? You don't want to be married to me anymore?"
Correct. So she's kicking him out of the house. He gets on a call with his aunt, who she has met before.
And so she was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "My wife don't want me no more."
One thing he said pissed Reesa off.
When he said to his aunt, "I ain't never lied to her," I snapped.
That's when things got heavy. She just threw him out of the house. She found out he's been pissing in the bottles he drinks in the bedroom because he's bedridden. He doesn't even get up to go to the bathroom. He was staying in a guest room at this point. She just throws him out, and all his things are still in the house, all right? She serves him a divorce paper that he signs that states that all the things he's left behind belong to her now.
didn't read the part where what's left in the house now belongs to me. He took, technically, what he was going to take. Everything else in that home belongs to me. Remember, I told y'all he had left all his Invicta watches. He had left all his WWE championship belts, his Jordans, a lot of his clothes, his Cole Haans. He had left all that stuff. He never even read the divorce agreement.
I don't know why we did that, but all right. He took his car keys and he dipped. He just had his phone, not his work phone, his normal phone. All his possessions now belong to her. Yikes, I think. I wouldn't want to be around anything his, if I'm being honest. I think I would just throw it all with him. He can take it and go, no? I don't see how that helps in any way, but all right. She kept his stuff. It did help later on with the investigations. She gets a text from the family, a cousin. He's saying you did this and that and this, but we know he's a liar, so what part of it is true? Cousin is shocked that he was even married.
What do you mean you didn't know he got married? He talks to his brother every day. She said, who told you that?
They were on the phone every morning with the brother. It wasn't speakerphone.
He said, I've heard him talk to his brother every day.
She didn't hear the other person on the other end of the line, but they were having conversations every morning. Well, those conversations were all fake. Imagine somebody's just like, yeah, what are y'all doing today? Nice. They say hi, by the way. You have to be some kind of psychopath. I'm confused about something. So all these phone calls were fake. Did this guy's phone ever ring? Did he ever get calls?
All his brothers. She said all his brothers. How many brothers do you think he has? She said he has the twin and he has the older brother. I said twin.
What about the sisters? Kim and Shantae?
She said, I don't know who Shantae is. She said Kim is my daughter.
Wow, so there's no sisters. There's no sisters, y'all. Everything she thought she knew about the family.
Nothing is real.
But here's where things get a little wild. He left a book bag that kind of shows a lot more of the lies he's been keeping. So the condiment company, he was actually terminated off that job. He worked on a forklift. Before that, he worked at a cemetery. Before that, he just got benefits, which is obviously all right, but you cannot be putting full cash offers on people's homes when they cost a $750K mortgage that you don't have. What goes on in his head, really? But all right, the book bag also showed some convictions. He's got a sentence he's ought to serve, but it's like a weekend sentence because he had a job at the time, which meant that he had to be in jail during the weekends.
Multiple yellow receipts for different weekends that he had to report and get out of jail.
His charges don't end there. Mans has a history. At one point, and one of his biggest charges, was impersonating an officer, which is, by the way, a felony. He was patting people down, searching for illegal substances, and then he got to this one lady, pats her down and says, I'm gonna need to check your apartment.
To try to go into a woman's apartment and do a search. This is in the incident report.
What he didn't know was that she worked at the local police station. She calls the office, they send a few guys over, that's when they arrest him.
On top of everything, I was married to a convicted felon.
Now what's wild is she got on the phone with his older brother, Chris. She calls Chris, whom she now speaks to for the first time. He says he hasn't spoken to this guy in ages, which is funny because he's always on the phone with him back when they were together.
My brother has always been a liar. He's always been a liar.
But here's the wild part. He tells her about the twin, who is a VP.
The twin brother, the one that is older by 20 minutes, is VP of his company.
Drives a very nice car.
Is married, drives a luxury car, and lives in like a 4 or 5 bedroom house.
Yes, Legion has impersonated his twin. It's very sad. This whole situation is just diabolical. Oh, and those two half-brothers, not real.
He said, our dad never had other kids.
He said his family started a church. He took her to it. Nope, lie.
Their father was the furthest thing from
Everything this man has said had been a lie. The only thing he didn't lie about was his knee injury. The chase paper she saw, the emails she saw, they were all doctored. They were all screenshots. They were all fake.
At this point, I was already convinced I was going to be drinking heavily that night after this phone call. So I was like, go ahead.
The aunt that was on the speakerphone while he was being kicked out of the house is not his aunt.
He said, that ain't our damn aunt. That is our mother's best friend. And I don't trust that hoe.
Oh Lord. Apparently, she's the mom's friend, who the family doesn't even trust. They say she's crazy. Well, she's been lied to as well. She's so sad and devastated that this relationship hadn't worked out. She's like, what about the baby? She calls her. What about the baby? What baby? The baby from a year ago?
And I was like, what do you mean he went to Augusta? She said, I've seen him like 4 or 5 times. He's come down here, and each time I've asked him to bring the baby. And I said, what baby?
He's been telling her that the baby was around. They had a baby boy, he said. This entire time, he's been lying to her. And he would go down to visit her. And she's like, just bring the baby. Just please, I want to see the baby. Oh my God. Now, the freaky part is, he calls her, says, I'm coming. I'm coming back.
He was ready to come home. Yes, you heard that correct.
I'm gonna stay in that house whether you like it or not, because at this point, the judge had still not, decreed on their divorce. She panics, asks the police what she can do. They tell her, y'all are married, it is his house, you can't stop him. That's not good. Her mom and her aunt are like, come stay with us, don't stay there. You never know when he's gonna show up. One of those days, police calls and they're like, hey, we got news.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
What else did this guy do? Please, if he shows up at your door, just give us a call. He sure did show up. She sure did call. And he was arrested. That was the last time she saw him. So the officer walks up to her and said,
he's asking to speak to you. Do you want to speak to him? I said, yeah.
At this point, I would understand why she could say yes. It's been a journey. It's been a journey and it needs its closure. I would think those last words would be the closure. But then I don't know why they started talking about the TV.
And he said, I just wanted to get my stuff. I just wanted to get the TV. I said, what TV? The TV that you gave me in the divorce? And I said, it's mine.
My girl, the TV.
I said, he gave me the TV.
The TV. This was a mic drop moment. If he says any shit about the TV or you still have this thing that's mine, I want it, there's nothing left to say. You just walk away, really. TV, what is this conversation? After all this, TV, but he gave me the TV! But he gave me the TV! Girl, come on. ReesaTeesa, you have been through it. Oh my God. Girl, give this lady her Netflix show. Netflix! BMW, are you here? Are you listening? Give Reesa what she deserves. Her X5, I forgot the car model. But that one, dark blue, what a journey. Please be extra cautious with people you don't know. I'm sure she's gonna have trouble trusting from this point on, and that's kind of sad. But it's also a defense mechanism that I think is important for her to sort of develop at this point. I think they definitely moved too fast, And Reesa, you seem like such a wonderful person. I wish you the best. I hope you find, peace. Whether it be with a dude or without one, in a relationship or not. I hope you find utmost happiness, health, and peace. But here's some news for you. Legion posted a TikTok.
Address the rumor ReesaTeesa ex-wife who it's completely false.
He's claiming he's gonna be on Netflix sharing his truth. Now, he says he didn't lie and he's taking a break for his mental health. He said he's never badmouthed anybody. He's like, you'll see me on Netflix soon sharing my truth. I don't know about that, Legion. Maybe 436 lies ago, I might have believed you, but I don't know now. Literally a few days ago on the 26th of Feb, she posts this update on the situation. Says she spoke with the family. They're so fine with her posting the story.
He said, we support you. The family is not mad at you.
They don't mind it, and the family has a message for all those who know them.
That if you or any friends know the family personally, Chris has a message for you. The captain is loose. Apparently you all should know what that means if you know the family.
I'm sorry, what does that mean? Is the captain like one of his, I don't know, personalities? Or is it just that he's out and about? What does that mean? What is this? What is this? Oh my god, I can't believe this is like real life. Goodness, it's actually insane. What are your thoughts? Would you have gotten married if all this was happening before that marriage? I would understand if she did have a kid. It would feel like a push to marriage, but she didn't. So why? Obviously not the one, obviously. Deceptive, manipulative, keeps lying, and multiple opportunities sort of demonstrated this. Isn't that rash to jump into I mean, there was a lot of rash decisions there. How many red flags did you see? That entire relationship was red. She calls it the United Nations of red flags. Hi. Judy's been listening to the story, and she says she hears her voice in her sleep.
Part 43.
Any thoughts you'd like to share?
I think someone.
Bombastic side eye.
Okay, Judy, get out. Between you and me, I would have gone back home the second my tire went flat. That first day, what would you have done? Like, I understand, like, in the situation, and when the manipulation is going on, when the lying is, you would think to yourself, like, why would somebody lie about this? Why would somebody lie about that? Like, why would somebody pretend to be on a call with their brother? That would never cross your mind. How well executed are those lies to such an extent where you don't even doubt it? That is crazy. And at points, those lies faltered. And when they did, she chose to overlook. She chose not to notice. Out of her fear for being alone, which I perfectly understand and I think is very valid, but also that second bit, no. Listen, it's traumatic, so. Do you have any crazy ex stories like this? I hope not. I don't have any crazy stories, if I'm being honest. I just don't think I would buy any of this shit. Honestly, like, if somebody comes up to me and says $750K mortgage. Wow, what do you do? VP? Let me just Google up your name, like VP. You must be something, huh? I'd love to see my partner giving a speech, like a TED Talk on whatever company they work in. It would never get to a point where you'd get played for a year. That's crazy. My heart goes out to you, Reesa. Hope you heal. I know it's not something you forget. But learn, bestie. Shit like this exists, so be careful out there, alright? That was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna go now. Bye.